Ladies and gentlemen, Drishyam 1 and 2 reaction video, review video. We figured do one because it's essentially it's two movies.
Yeah,
but it's kind of one story.
Yeah, one review I think works better because otherwise we would have had a lot of questions in the first review. Like, oh, is this gonna happen or is that gonna happen?
So Sadie, what did you think of this movie? Movies.
I would say we could talk about both.
Well, we just finished the second movie like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah. You're trying to
think back.
I need to gather my thoughts.
We don't allow that on this podcast.
Let me tell you this. When I first watched the first one, I was blown away. Mm-hmm. And then when I watched the second one, I was also blown away. Because what I like about these movies is that I think it's a movie meant for people that are like crime, like mystery movies, because they're trying to figure it out. And I like with both of these movies, I couldn't figure out anything about how they were going to do the twist at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because both of them had major twists at the end of the movie, and both times it was just impossible to predict where it was going to go.
Yeah. I also liked how the second movie was still its own thing. Because the first movie had closure.
It did.
You're like, wait, how are they going to really make a second one? But then they did it well, where they were able to continue the story without making it seem
without
fake.
Retconning the whole first movie.
Yeah, like, oh, nothing. Yeah.
Which can happen a lot.
And without ruining the first movie.
Because a lot of times in sequels, they'll do stuff to mess around with the first movie to ruin it entirely.
Yeah.
And it doesn't tie in well with the first one, or something's off.
The only thing was the guy who I think got his money. Because we didn't see otherwise. It never showed it, but I would assume he
get it.
Better have.
So that guy was the only thing that they kind of added to the movie.
Yep.
But other than him, they didn't do anything to mess with the thing. And I liked how he got arrested too, so it just makes sense why 7 years later
he would remember.
It was just very cohesive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah, I thought the two movies, the central the middle part between the two made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the first one was really good too. It kind of
they were
backed
both,
off each other.
Yeah, they both had different themes. Like the first one was, I think, a little more action packed, or I don't know if I should say action packed, but like it was a little more intense. This one, the second one, was more build up throughout the film.
Yeah.
To a crazy ending, a twist ending. But I thought both were done very well.
I agree.
They were both directed really well. Shots were really good.
The first Drishyam was a lot of cat and mouse, where it's like they find something, it's foiled. They try to do this, it's foiled. It's like you're unfolding the whole mystery. And then the second one is more, they already know what happened, so we're not trying to recap that, but it's just trying to build up to the point where they try to get him again, like, hey, we found the body. Because this whole movie is kind of like the guy said, the climax, where they find the body, and then all of a sudden, what? It's not the, it's like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they swapped it. Yeah, I think they needed, ultimately, like, the closure that this movie offered was allowing the parents of the murdered son to move on.
Right. Mm-hmm. There's even alarms going off right now because of how good this movie is.
Is that the fire alarm?
That's the fire alarm.
Yep. Hopefully we got that.
The gentleman downstairs is cooking food, and it is burnt because I can smell it.
I can smell it too. Is that Johnny or Nick?
We don't need to dox them on the internet. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Poor kids.
We'll have to cut that.
Their last name.
What were you saying, Sadie?
What was I saying? I don't know. I lost it. I will say, I thought it was interesting. So, there were a lot of twists and turns. It was really fun. It was fun to watch. There were parts that, like, definitely were frustrating. Not necessarily because it's, like, not going the hero's way, but because it's not going the hero's way in a way that doesn't totally seem realistic. Like, with the first one, you can kind of get behind, like, Gatande, or whatever his name is. Gatorade.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Gayatande. You can kind of see him beating out confessions and abusing the family because they established in the beginning that the police are corrupt. Mm-hmm. However, in the second movie, they've now established that corruption has been revealed and that the family is under protection. So when it happens the second time, it's like, I understand that it's kind of what Vijay, not that he wanted that, but that it was all according to plan. But I also that part was frustrating because I didn't totally buy it that would happen.
Well,
I mean, not that you would buy anything would
I feel like he was more violent the second time. Like he was slapping all of them up. Like,
yeah, like
it was weird. It was.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, haven't they learned? And then they, of course, they didn't learn. And
It's hard to make a sequel though because they
I
need to make it more intense because they need to kind of up it for the sequel.
I agree. I don't think that they needed to beat the family. I think that the daughter Anju,
Sure.
the second daughter.
Anju and Anu.
Anju and Anu. Yeah.
Anju is the older daughter and Anu is the younger daughter.
Like with Anju, she had a medical condition, and I think that would have been enough to raise the stakes. Where like her, with Gaitande not even touching them, just being in the room with them is what triggers that for her. And then because at the end of the day, that's what like rose the stakes in that moment.
Right.
I don't think that you needed him beating them up because that part was just like really like it went from being like no to like
but
okay.
then you really hate the mom after that point because she's like beat him. She's
like,
a
really good actor. Her name is Taboo, and she's really good at playing the
really
villain.
Good actor.
I don't know.
Has she been in any movies?
Dune and Drishyam.
She's
in Life of Pi. And Hater. I forgot she's in Hater.
Hater's a good movie.
Who was she in Life of Pi?
I don't know. Who is she? She is Geeta Patel.
You know what? It's been so long since I've seen Life of Pi. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. She was really good though.
Oh yeah.
Has she been in any other movies where she's like the good guy? Because I want to see.
I don't even think
she's kind of bad.
She was bad in Hater too. I thought. Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments.
I feel kind of bad for her if that's the case. Like I want to see her play a good role.
Yeah.
You know?
She was in Bool
so
too.
I don't hate her so much.
We haven't seen that one.
For what?
Bool Balui.
Is that good?
We haven't seen it.
We haven't.
Anyways, she I thought was really good as playing that villainous woman
she's
role.
Really good job.
She's got a very wicked side to her.
I like that they did kind of like a good cop bad cop with her and the father.
Yeah,
agreed.
I can't remember his name, but like
Mahesh right there.
Yeah, it kind of brings it home. Like okay, their son was murdered, you know, and that's not okay. That's not necessarily a justifiable outcome for his actions. However. Yeah, so they did a really good job with like the delicate balance between wanting Mira, you know, and the police to just burn or whatever and just get what's coming for him, but then also wanting some closure for the dad at least because they do deserve that. But and I like Vijay. They never made him the bad guy. Like he always understood the fact that like he did murder their son, and so it. Yeah, I don't know. But it just makes me Vijay seem more likable than the other families seeming more
he respected
sympathetic.
the father, and he's like, I'll try to, and he even got him the remains, the bones at the end. So there was that closure.
Yeah, that guy, Vijay is a really good actor too. He really just
so
played his role.
Wait, click on it. I want to see what
he played a very touching character. Stoic, but also touching when they were like in those comedic moments.
Yeah, in the montages where he was hanging out with his family and stuff.
What else
was
has he
so
been in?
good.
Let's see. Shiva. This isn't even his top movie by far.
He's in.
He is in RR. Who does he play in RR? Am I dumb? How did I miss that?
He plays some. I remember him in RR.
Yep, I do
he
too.
He played.
He wasn't one of the main.
No, he played like an inspector.
I don't know
think.
Who that
I think he played like a.
Venkata
Rama Ranji. There you go, right there.
Well, wait, he was.
He was pretty high on the call list.
Look him up.
This isn't even his top movie. Yeah, well, we gotta watch Shiva if that's his top. The Legend of Badak Singh, Once Upon a Time in Mumbai.
That's a wow.
Wow. All right. Well, I think he's a really good actor in my mind. Like,
I think
they all were really good actors.
Oh, they were all really good.
Yep.
I will say it was kind of fun. So. This isn't necessarily a critique as much as it is an observation.
Yeah.
It's not a typical story. Like you said, it's more true crime and you know, cat and mouse, detective, solving a mystery while also, you know. And so like Vijay as a character doesn't really have any character development. Like he doesn't change from beginning to end. If anything, I would I don't know if any character necessarily goes through like a traditional transformation. And I don't think that that's necessary in every single movie.
Yeah.
Like, just because you have the standard of, like, okay, your character starts here and ends here, and, you know, how do they change as a person? You don't need that for every single gosh darn movie. It just makes movies seem formulaic and repetitive. So I like that, you know, some people would say that that could be a bad thing about this movie. I don't necessarily think that's the case. It was fun. It felt kind of like, one thing I will say is that he did seem like a very inhuman character in the sense that he was, like, so far ahead of them the whole time. Because, like, you know, with the first one and the second one, where there's this kind of formula or something happens in the beginning, you know, the police are onto him, they're investigating, they can't quite nab him, they finally get him, and then everything gets flipped on its head and they realize that he was playing with them the whole time. And so it made him seem like a little bit less of a person and more like, whoa, this guy is, like,
a super genius.
A super,
Maybe prefer
but
a little error.
I don't hate that because that's also the way like Sherlock Holmes is in a lot of his stuff. And people love Sherlock Holmes. He's a beloved character, and they always do that in like every Sherlock Holmes, where he's investigating, and then he cracks the case and has it all solved, you know, and figured out way 10 steps ahead of the criminals and the police and everybody. So he's kind of like the Indian Sherlock Holmes, except better in my opinion, because he's not like quite as sociopathic. Like, he actually has a family who he cares about, and there's the reason for, like, he has a morally good reason for doing what he's doing. Well, it's hard to say morally good because he did hide a body.
Family.
But family.
All about family.
It's all about the family. Like, he is doing something for his family. So he's a much more likable character, I would say, than even Sherlock Holmes.
There you go.
There we go. Hot
what do we rate it?
I like it. Yeah, what
both
out
the
of
first
5?
and the second one?
Yeah.
We'll have to
first
give.
and then second.
I can't remember what I rated.
Let me pop it. Guys, go to our Letterboxd to find out what we rate everything on our Letterboxd. You can follow us there. It's somewhere.
So first one. Should we start out?
Drishyam.
You found yours.
Drishyam, I rated a whopping.
How do you spell that?
Okay, I got mine down. And then, so for Drishyam 1, I gave it a 4.
Okay.
Because I really liked it.
I gave it a 3.5 actually.
3.5?
Yep.
All right, and then Sadie.
Need to think about this.
I'll keep that score on mine. I did really like the first one though.
There you go.
Watching it. It was super good.
Oh, 4.
4?
She gives it a 4.
Okay.
All right, and then for Drishyam 2, I also rated a 4.
Let's see what.
I kind of want to go 3.5 for Drishyam 2.
Okay, so you like
just
the first one.
because there were
the
parts
second.
of it that did seem less believable.
Whereas I'm gonna say that's the wrong one. I'm gonna say
gave it
that
4 actually. I remember really when we first watched it. Yeah, the first time.
Yep.
I really love that twist in the build up, and that's why I gave it a half star more.
With the movie?
Yeah.
So I liked them both about the
one,
same. Isaac liked the second one more. Sadie liked the first one more.
Yep.
Very good spread, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
probably
good.
most people believe that.
Yep. Yeah, that's probably what.
Let
let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what you thought.
What your rating is.
Who do you side with as to
like which one you like better?
Yep.
And yeah, let us know.
Subscribe.
Yes, and vote on the next movie.
Yes.
We'll have the polls up soon.
All right, gang.
See ya.
Peace.